G'day guys, it's James here from Total Bells Chiropractic back again. Today we're continuing our series of interviews of just some of the local businesses that we really love, that we get involved with, that we refer to, and that share our philosophy on health and fitness and well-being. So today we're here at Crossfit Newcastle. So this is the establishment where I train. These guys help me keep in the fantastic, trim, taut, terrific shape that you can see me in today. And today I'm joined by Wonder Coach Pip Malone. So thank you for your time, Pip.
Hi, no worries.
Okay, so Pip, for those of you who don't know you, you're an elite athlete by anyone's definition. You've competed twice at the Crossfit Games, which is the pinnacle of CrossFit competition in the world. And you're the current Australian Olympic weightlifting champion in your weight division, and hoping to make it to the Commonwealth Games here.
Yes.
Fantastic, great. So just to give us a bit of background about yourself then, how did you get into CrossFit? What was your training experience before CrossFit?
Well, I was an elite gymnast for about 20 years, so I specialised in trampolining and power tumbling. And basically I retired from gymnastics and was looking for some way to keep fit. And I stumbled across a CrossFit gym, and just by chance, never lifted a weight before in my life or anything like that. And someone saw me and saw my body type and said, oh, you should try this out, you'd be really good at it. And I tried it, did one session and fell in love with it. It was awesome.
Yeah, same with me. My very first session, it was all over. So CrossFit, the definition of CrossFit, for those who don't know, is constantly varied functional movement performed at high intensity. Now that's a bit of a word salad, so can I just get you to break that down a little bit, what those different components actually mean?
So basically CrossFit incorporates all functional movements that you would find in everyday life. So when you sit down on a chair, you're squatting. When you're reaching up to grab something, you're pressing. Just like that's the idea behind it. And then it incorporates gymnastics movements and weightlifting movements and cardio like running, rowing, you name it.
So stuff that transfers across in everyday life. Okay.
Stuff that you can do with anything, whether you're able-bodied or not.
And constantly varied?
Constantly varied means that every single time you do a workout, it's going to be different every single time. So you might do similar movements each time, but the way the workout's laid out is going to be different. So whether it's time frame or amount of reps you're doing, it's constantly varied every single time, as you would know, because every time you come into the gym, we're doing something completely different.
Absolutely, yeah. And it makes it far more exciting, far more interesting. You never get bored in a CrossFit gym because you never quite know what's coming. And the last bit, performed at high intensity. Now, can you just sort of break that down for people, because intensity is relative to the person. So intensity is going to be different for you as it is for me. Very different.
But it's what is intense for you. So, we have people here that range from ages 12 up to 70. And what's intense for them is differently intense for everyone else. So it's pushing to your maximum, not the person next to you or what you think should be a maximum. It's just what you can do in that given session.
Sure. And so on that point then, something I often hear from people when I'm talking to them about CrossFit is, don't you have to be super fit to do that? Or, I'd really love to try CrossFit, but I don't think I'm fit enough to try that yet. So what would be your answer to those people?
Oh, well, that's definitely not the case at all. And we hear it all the time with new members coming into the gym. They always think that they need to be a certain level of fitness to do CrossFit, and that's not it at all. You can come in having not done any fitness or any sport in your life. And
it's like me.
Yeah,
that's my background.
Yeah, you just start from scratch and you get fit from there. I think what happens is people get caught up in what they see in the media with CrossFit, which is big jacked up athletes that are really, really fit. And that's the CrossFit Games, but that's not CrossFit, essentially.
Yeah, and me personally, I know I've gotten fitter faster in my life than when I first joined the CrossFit gym, so great stuff. So my patients are often surprised to hear actually that I train in a CrossFit gym, and this is one of the other things that we sometimes hear about CrossFit is that, isn't that dangerous? Don't you get injured a lot at CrossFit? So how would you compare CrossFit, say, to other sports that people would enjoy for just their day-to-day activity in terms of the likelihood of injury?
Oh, look, I mean, there's definitely, you see many more injuries in ball sports like soccer and netball and rugby and those sorts of things, but people don't get scared off by it because it's the norm in those sports, and CrossFit isn't the norm. So people look at it and think, oh, well, that's scary, that's stupid, it's not going to work. But it really comes down to your coaches.
Yep.
You need to have really good coaches who have really good backgrounds and lots of knowledge.
These guys.
Yeah, you need a really good environment that you're training in, so safe environment, no excess crap on the ground, all of the normal things that you would put in any other workplace you would have in a CrossFit gym.
Yep.
And that's what makes it safe.
Yep.
The only time it gets unsafe is if you're not being supervised.
Yep.
Or you've got too much equipment around, that kind of thing. That's where accidents happen.
Yeah. And my personal experience definitely is that I've seen more unsafe movements being performed in non-CrossFit gyms than I've ever seen in any CrossFit gym, for sure. Okay, so just on that environment thing, one of the things I love about training in a CrossFit gym is just the sense of community, the friendliness, everyone's there cheering each other on. So what is it that makes you get out of bed on a dark morning at 5:30 to get down here to coach people? What is it you love most about CrossFit?
Well, I love what it does for people. I love that they come in here for an hour out of their day, and it's the best hour of their day. And that's really cool to be a part of and to make people's lives better. So I think there's a massive difference between, the fittest on earth, the CrossFit Games, where you do see all the athletes, and then CrossFit on an affiliate level, like what we do every day. It's two completely different things.
Yep.
And what happens in the media is it gets a little bit mixed up, and people don't know the difference.
Yep.
So they assume that our gym is full of athletes like that, when it's not. It's full of everyday people who are just trying to be better at life, be healthier, be fitter, and that's what I love about it.
They're the best they can be.
That's
absolutely. And the thing I love most is that often it's the last person to finish the workout who gets the biggest cheer of the day. Everyone hangs around and encourages them.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to be the best. You just have to do your best.
Absolutely. So what would you say to people who are thinking about maybe trying out CrossFit, never experienced it? Any closing words?
I would say the best thing to do is just to give it a try. You can't judge something or make a comment on something until you've actually given it a try. It may not be for everyone, but almost everybody I know who has come in with a negative mind frame about it has been turned around.
Yeah.
Just because it's not what they think it is, and they end up achieving much more than they think they were ever capable of doing.
Yep, great. And so if people want to give CrossFit a try, how can they get in touch with you guys here at CrossFit Newcastle? What's the easiest way?
So you can jump on our Facebook, send a message through, feel free to come in, just walk in the door, jump in the class, try it out, or you can email us at info@crossfitnewcastle.com.au.
Fantastic, great. Thank you for your time, Pip. So there you go. So curiosity, the best thing to do, honestly, would be to just come in and have a crack. If you've got any questions about CrossFit, be sure to ask me next time you're in the practice. Otherwise, I hope to see you down here sometime soon, training alongside all of us awesome people. Thanks, Pip.
Awesome.
Catch you soon. Bye.
See you.